Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Rokita. I'm so excited to do a recap on how much I made last week in my art business, but also how much I made in the month of May because I cannot believe it. It is already June. It is June 1st when I'm recording this. And so I'd love to just give you guys just a recap of just everything, okay? So for those of you who are new here, I am an abstract map maker and I am trying to go full time with my art business, and it's been quite the journey. I've finally been able to get to kind of like part time income with my art, and the goal is now to reach full time. So I'm really hoping that I'll be able to kind of save up enough in the next few months to have at least 3 months of income, maybe a little bit more, just as a buffer. So when I leave my part time job, I'm able to not worry about my finances as much. So very excited for that. Okay, so let's just do a recap of last week, okay? So last week, and this is going to be how much money actually hit my bank account, okay? Last week, so I had one art print order that came through the week before, and that was not deposited into my bank account until last week. And that was $50.45. Okay. This was for a regular art print. And the way that I handle those is I have a production printing partner. Their name is Finer Works. I absolutely love the quality of their stuff. And just, yeah, the range of papers they have, like, they do framing, they do all kinds of stuff, and they have also really good deals, which is awesome. And they drop ship. So anytime someone orders just a regular art print that's not going to be signed by me, I just put it through Finerworks and they ship it off, which is awesome. For anything that's special, like let's say someone gets a limited edition print or they get something that's going to be hand signed, embellished, whatever it might be, I order those to come to me, and then I do all the work to embellish them, to sign them, to pack them, all that stuff, and then I send them off after that. So that's how that works. And that's been really handy because I've been kind of all over the place. And yeah, I've been using them since I moved from Connecticut to Pittsburgh, and they've just been really, really great. So that was for one print order. And then I also got paid a little extra for the mural project. So Laura, the lady who commissioned those murals, she wanted me to do an extra, like, just addition to the murals. So some of it was just some like touch up work outside and just adding a couple really fine details. And then she wanted kind of like an addition on the other wall opposite from the mural I did that was leading down the stairs. So that took me another 5 hours or so. And I did that on Sunday, and she paid me $300 for the extra work. And then the last thing that came through last week was from Patreon. And I make around $50 on my Patreon every single month. And so I sometimes, it depends, like usually I wait till there's like a big chunk in there and then I transfer it to my account. But it is helpful to have when I have bills to pay. And so for Patreon, I had $48.24 that was deposited. And for that, a chunk of that is people who are paying for like a $3 or $7 a month as like a friend tier. And then there's one that is for a mini original. And so that's kind of what that's from. So total for last week, okay? My total for last week was $398.69. Honestly, a little bit of a lower week for me, just because I pushed so hard, and there are some weeks when things go low, right? It's up and down, right? Last week was kind of like a lower week for me. Okay, so but still on track, okay? So let's talk about May, and I have my notes here just so I don't forget everything. And I'm going to give you kind of a breakdown of where this money came from. So the first one is Shopify. So for the month of May, I made $2,416.33. And just as I'm going through this, please know this does not include my expenses, okay? I would say my expenses for my Shopify sales were probably around $500 or $600. Okay, so like even though it's over that, it's over 2,400. There's still a big chunk of that that's expenses, right? And expenses include shipping materials, shipping labels, the actual materials to make the art, driving my car to and from the art store, all of that stuff. Okay. So yeah, that's my Shopify, or that's what I made from Shopify. And most of those sales came to me because of Threads. Okay. So I do most of my marketing on Threads, and then also some to those people on Instagram. And I have a broadcast channel on there where I'm telling people about new things that are being released. Okay. So, but most of it comes from Threads. There was one sale that was an outlier that happened last week, and someone in Australia bought a $300 art print, and this is like out of the norm. That was not normal. I have been doing a lot more marketing on LinkedIn, and that has been just kind of new for me. I'm kind of using it as a space to hopefully connect with art advisors, art consultants, people who are in the art world, gallery owners, art critics, those kinds of people. And that's what I'm using it for. But I'm also really interested in connecting with people who might like my art. And so a lot of those people are interested in ecology, in conservation, in biology. And so I have been connecting with more of those people. And the guy that bought a print was some ecologist in Australia, which was so cool. We had a really nice conversation. I introduced my work to him. We had a good conversation, and then he, a few hours later, went and bought an art print, which was really, really cool. So, okay, Shopify, right? All right, next is private sales and the mural work that I did. In total, $1,775. Okay. So when I say private sales, this is like maybe someone had a commission. So I did have one of those. Or they bought something from me and they gave me the money through PayPal or Venmo, and it was just kind of privately taken care of, not on my website. Okay. Then Patreon, in total, $51.49. Then I also had a licensing contract, and this was through the library. This was $1,200. And that came in the form of a check a couple weeks ago. And so in total for the month of May, I made $5,442.82. You guys, this is my second best month ever in May. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So grateful, especially for the licensing contract, because when a chunk of money like that comes through and I didn't have to pay for all these extra expenses with it, so convenient, you guys. It's amazing. So I'm just really grateful for that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to talk about. I just released a new collection on my website called A Democracy of Light. And so if you want to support me as I try to go full time, there's new paintings on my website as of a few days ago. And I'm also going to be putting out some new darker pieces where there's a lot of like black ink and then these popping colors. And there's all going to be inspired by this image that I saw in this science magazine that was like a brain scan. And it just looked so cool, showing all these neurons firing. And so, yeah, if you want art or you want to support me as I go on my journey, please check out my shop. It's rokitaart.com. And you can also find me on Instagram and on Threads at Rokita Art. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about how I'm, going about this art journey, please let me know. And I'm happy to answer whatever I can in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Bye.